welcome to this beautiful spot after the dhabas of Chhattisgarh, on the road in Madhya Pradesh and in the palaces of Rajasthan. We are now at Connaught Place in Delhi for the Delhi election battleground. And we are at this beautiful spot. It's a hot spot of Delhi, Cuba restaurant. Look at the view of Connaught Place. Redone, looking great, and a youth festival bang in the middle just for all of us. But Delhi, remember, is 50% larger in terms of voter population than Jammu and Kashmir. So it's a very important state, Delhi, in this election. More than that, Delhi is very important because it's a bellwether state. It's a really tough one because there are three parties this time. Historically, Delhi has been a two-party fight, BJP against the Congress. But now the Aam Aadmi Party is making serious inroads. That's what all the opinion polls say. So we'll try and figure out which way Delhi is leading. Is it going to be a hung assembly or is it going to be a clear verdict? That's during the course of the next half an hour, 45 minutes. But first, Delhi is more important for other reasons. Number one, as I mentioned, it's got about 12 million voters, while Jammu and Kashmir, the whole of Jammu and Kashmir has about 7 million. So it's about 50% bigger, Delhi, than the whole of Jammu and Kashmir. But more than that, it is also a state which is a bellwether state. Just let's have a look at what that means. The way Delhi goes, the rest of India goes. So these are very, very important indicators. Now what do we mean? By the way, bellwether is not spelled with W-E-A-T-H-E-R, as Dora pointed out. That is the correct spelling. That is not a typo. So whichever party wins the Delhi Assembly elections also wins most of the seats in the Delhi Lok Sabha elections coming up. So the winner of the Delhi Assembly is also the winner of the Delhi Lok Sabha, which will come in about 4 or 5 months. So that's the first indicator. In fact, the party that wins this does better in the Lok Sabha. And then whichever party wins most seats in the Delhi Lok Sabha also wins the All India Lok Sabha elections. In the last 5 elections, Delhi has been a pointer, has voted the same way as the All India Lok Sabha, the last 5 elections. Now all this research is done by the one and only Namrata Gupta, who knows actually more about elections than all three of us put together and should have been here rather than us. And one more interesting fact, Namrata, has just emerged. And let's have a look at are there any bellwether constituencies in this country? And look at this. Last 10 elections, there have been 2 seats which have voted the same winner as whoever came in the center, whether it's the BJP, Congress, NDA. These 2 seats, West Delhi and Valsad in Gujarat. These 2 have, for the last 10 elections, I think that's way back to 77. Correct. So watch out for these, watch out for what's happening in Delhi in the Assembly, then in the Lok Sabha. Give you a good hint maybe on who's going to win the Lok Sabha elections. One little other fact about Delhi, which most of us would have suspected, the rich in South Delhi don't like to vote. So Namrata did a list of turnout percentages from the lowest turnout to the highest. And look at the 5 lowest. Here they are. This is average turnout in the last 10 years. RK Puram lowest, 43%. 43%. A lot of bureaucrats there also. Okhla, 43%. Next one. This is the second worst. Third worst, Mehrauli, with all those lovely farmhouses. They can't leave them to go to the polling booth. Greater Kailash, 47%. Right where NDTV is, so we are going to get them out this time. I think that 47% is all NDTV voting.
That's right.
Right, that's our story. And New Delhi, where all the Sarkars, the Sarkari Babus live, not even 50% turnout. The worst 5, the rich just don't vote. Shocking. And don't you look smug because it happens in Bombay as well.
That's right. But I vote, unlike many
Malabar Hill is worse than Mehrauli.
That's right.
Worse than Mehrauli. Well, I mean, this is just, it is really shocking. We've got Kiran Walia with us. If I can just ask Kiran, first of all, Delhi, a very important bellwether state. But how are you going to get your rich to get out and vote? shocking that they are 40%, 43%, 45%. Why is that?
Well, it has happened that in parts of our areas which are considered high-end areas, there has been a good percentage where they crossed even 50%. And excuse me, last time when the backdrop of where there was an attack on the Taj Hotel in Bombay and a terrorist attack, we really thought, because of the discussions on all the channels and media were that there's not been enough care on issues of security and so on, and we knew that we might be at the receiving end. But I was so surprised that there was a very good turnout, and it also went in favor of Congress. So it's a very interesting study of what Delhi voter is about, and I think that the Delhi voter is very discerning, and they did come out despite that.
Right. Okay, let's get Vijay Goel, who of course is the BJP state president and also was at university, young man at university when I was doing my PhD. Now of course he's a great leader. Good to have you, Vijay Goel, and Yogendra Yadav, who I've worked with over the years, has now also joined the Aam Aadmi Party. But Vijay Goel, I wanted to ask you, educated rich don't vote, while the poor are more involved and use the democratic powers much better. Why is that, and how can this be changed?
पुण्य रॉय, मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी एजुकेटेड वोट नहीं कर रहे, वो भी घर से निकल रहे हैं, किंतु जाहिर तौर के ऊपर जो लोग झुग्गी झोंपड़ी में रहते हैं, स्लम्स में रहते हैं, क्लस्टर्स में रहते हैं, उनके लिए वोटर आई कार्ड बहुत महत्व रखता है और उनके लिए जनप्रतिनिधि भी ज्यादा महत्व रखता है, इसलिए क्योंकि उनकी समस्याएं ज्यादा होती हैं, चाहे वो कॉर्पोरेटर का इलेक्शन है, चाहे वो एमएलए का इलेक्शन है या एमपी का इलेक्शन है। दूसरा ये है, वो एक क्लस्टर्स में रहते हैं, उनको मोबिलाइज करना, उनमें कैंपेनिंग करना बहुत आसान होता है। इसलिए मैं समझता हूं जो कोठी के अंदर कन्वेंसिंग करना भी और उन तक रीच करना भी बड़ा मुश्किल होता है, एक एक दरवाजे को खटखटाना, अंदर जाना, उनको बाहर निकालना जी, फिर उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स भी कम होती हैं, इसलिए वो कम चिंता करते हैं जी। अभी इलेक्शन कमीशन ने भी बहुत अच्छी कैंपेन चलाई है कि भी ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग वोट करें, इसके लिए उन्होंने सेलिब्रिटीज को भी इन्वॉल्व किया है। पर ये मानने को मैं तैयार हूं कि अभी वो लोग वोट कम करते हैं, पर जो कारण मैंने गिनवाए हैं वो कारण बहुत महत्व रखते हैं, क्योंकि झुग्गी झोंपड़ी क्लस्टर जो ऑर्डिनरी सिटीजन्स हैं उनके लिए ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है कि वो लोग इसके लिए वोट करें ताकि वो उससे अपने काम भी करवा सकेंगे और उनमें कन्वेंसिंग आसान होती है।
But I would have thought, I understand those arguments, but I just feel it's your duty to vote. And if you're educated, you're doing well, you should go out and exercise your vote. I wanted to ask you, Yogendra, I don't know if you saw how Delhi is a bellwether state, whether you believe in bellwether. Last 5 elections, Delhi and the centre have been the same. And then these two constituencies, Valsad in Gujarat and West Delhi in Delhi, have also voted. These two in the last 10 elections have been identical. So you better win West Delhi, and when you go to Gujarat, you better win Valsad as well.
Allow me to begin with an advertisement, because the poll which came 2 or 3 days ago has actually picked up different parliamentary constituencies as well. And the only one constituency they have given us is actually West Delhi. So if you treat that as bellwether, there is some good news for my party.
Not bad, not bad.
But, I mean,
Not bad at all.
I mean, but trust Namrata to pick up these things. Honestly, I didn't know that these two constituencies have flowed with the rest of the nation.
Lovely
I think it's only fair to say. Yeah.
But the general reasoning being given for the rich not voting, life is satisfied. Sorry, I interrupted. Were you saying something, Yogendra?
I was saying that it's fair. I think we should not think of Delhi as a bellwether for the rest of India, but it's probably fair to say that Delhi tends to flow with the rest of North India, and especially the part of North India which is Congress BJP. So it flows with that. For me, the more important thing about Delhi election this time is that it is in my eyes, it's a question. One crucial question is to be decided here: whether people want any kind of substitute or whether they want an alternative. Coming from where I come from, partisan as I am, I like to believe that there is, for the first time in Delhi, an alternative possibility which doesn't exist in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and so on, because it's a routine old game being played out there. And if Delhi votes for an alternative, that has a much bigger message, perhaps.
Right. Right. Okay, let's have a look at what the foundation is and then see whether there is going to be an alternative. There's no doubt that over the years, we've always said that corruption is a major issue in this country for people's lives. But it's never an election issue. Why? Because an election issue has to have two factors. One, it has to be important to you, and two, one party has to be different from another party on that. So corruption is important to everybody, but they say all parties are corrupt. So how it doesn't become an election issue? Now in Delhi you find there is a party that's come that is fighting as an alternative because it says it's not corrupt. And it has an image of being not corrupt, the Aam Aadmi Party. So finally corruption is becoming an issue in this state. But is it enough? Is it enough of an issue to change the face of this election? Let's see what happened last time. Remember, up to last time, if you look at the 2008 results, it was a two-party fight. And this is the basis of this election. Let's have a look at 2008. Remember, the halfway mark is 35, there's 70 seats. The Congress got 43, BJP 23. That's a pretty sizable majority, a sweep actually. What about the votes? Let's have a look. One of the highest votes actually that the Congress has ever got, 40%. But remember, look at that, only a 4% difference. But now the key is, you needed about 38, 39, 40 to get a majority up to now. But now with three parties, you can get a majority with much less, with a much lower vote, because the index of opposition unity is much higher. Let's just move on to what the polls are saying so far. This is what the polls are, the poll of polls. Remember, we haven't done our own poll. This is just reporting what everybody else has done. Halfway mark 35, we've taken CSDS, C-Voter and Nielsen. BJP 27, Congress 24, AAP 17, BSP and others just 2. That is a really hung parliament, because 27 is 8 short of majority. But in terms of compared to last time, BJP up 4, Congress down 19, remember it got 43 last time, AAP was up, Aam Aadmi Party didn't exist last time, so that's a plus 17, and BSP is losing out a bit. What about in terms of votes? Let's have a look at what the poll of polls says in terms of votes. To move on to the party-wise vote percentages, this is what it looks like. BJP is getting, in terms of percentage of votes, here it comes, 31%. Congress 28, Aam Aadmi Party 26, and BSP and others 15. This is an average. Some are higher, some are lower. These are average of all the polls done by these organizations. So the BJP down 5, but still the largest party. Congress down 12, but still getting higher than the Aam Aadmi Party, which is going from 0 to 26. So where is the Aam Aadmi Party getting its votes from? Let's have a look. Finally, you can see that it's getting quite a lot of its votes from the Congress. For every 100 votes, if you look at the Aam Aadmi Party votes, where they're coming from, for every 100 votes that the Aam Aadmi Party gets, Congress gives it 50 votes of that 100. The BJP gives it, let's have a look at that, 20 votes. And the BSP and others are giving it 30 votes. So every 100 votes, that's where it's coming from. Congress, basically anti-incumbency, but even BJP is giving it some. So it's getting from everywhere, Dorab.
Yes, but it's hitting the Congress so much more, probably because the campaign, AAP campaign and Anna's campaign was directed at the Congress. So it's hitting the Congress more than anybody else.
A party that's coming in, I mean, this tends to show that if it's a corruption issue, they're coming from everywhere because they believe everybody else is corrupt. Everybody.
Well, not just that, but right now they think Congress is the most corrupt. Also because Congress is in power.
Right.
So Congress is getting the highest punishment. But the most fascinating thing about this figure, and this is something that, we've even been saying sort of anecdotally, and I've said this and risk writing it, is
that you should never do.
Very dangerous. That Aam Aadmi Party has actually brilliantly disrupted the Congress Party's fortresses in Delhi's old resettlement colonies, Jhuggi Jhopdi colonies, the many Sanjay Nagar and Nehru colonies and Gandhi colonies.
Right.
In the past, H.K.L. Bhagat and others are known to have brought people in, as many have, Krupa Shankar Singh and others have done in Bombay. You bring in people, get them to settle, they become your permanent vote bank. So Aam Aadmi Party, and no matter what happened, even after the emergency, these vote banks sustain. It's the first time that somebody has come and made a dent in these vote banks, to an extent that they are also hitting the BSP. So both the BSP and the Congress are losing voters.
Right.
They could always take for granted. In fact, they could presume that they had those votes in the bag in their sleeve. That, whatever your voting preference is, that is brilliant politics for a new
A
party.
phenomenal achievement.
In fact, yesterday we were at Tilakapuri, which is a scheduled caste seat, where actually the Aam Aadmi Party, from what we could see, we talked to people doing very well. This the Congress guy doesn't live here, the BJP guy hasn't performed. Why should we vote for them?
In fact, I have a saying, which is a bit of a PJ, poor joke, that there is a jharu that's sweeping the elections in parts of Delhi. So we went on the campaign trail, Dorab and I, with Arvind Kejriwal yesterday at Trilokpuri. This is what he had to say. Take a look. The jharu is sweeping parts. We've been through a lot together. You've done the RTI, you won the Magsaysay Award. Now you're in politics. Tell me 2 or 3 things you've learned from being in politics.
देखिए, हम लोग पॉलिटिक्स में अपनी मर्जी से नहीं आए, मजबूरी में आना पड़ा हम लोगों को। जब इतना ज्यादा भ्रष्टाचार हो गया, एक आम आदमी का जीना मुश्किल हो गया और सरकार ने लोकपाल बिल पास करने से मना कर दिया, सरकार ने कोई एक्शन लेने से मना कर दिया, तब और कोई चारा नहीं बचा राजनीति में आने के सिवा।
About yourself, what have you learned about yourself? 2-3 things.
मुझे लगता है एक तो पॉलिटिक्स आपको बहुत इंक्लूसिव बनाती है, पेशेंस बहुत सिखाती है, बहुत पेशेंस सिखाती है,
And some amount of realism, practicality.
हाँ, जमीन से जोड़ती है. There is no doubt about it.
Right.
You had said in one TV interview that you had made many mistakes on the way and which you would do otherwise. Can you tell us some of them? What were the things what things would you do differently?
अभी एक तो तुरंत जो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारी टिकट्स हमने देरी कर दी देने में. अब हम ये रियलाइज कर रही है कि जो टिकट्स हमने पहले दे दी थी जिन लोगों को, those constituencies are doing pretty well, लेकिन जिनमें देरी कर दी है वहां पे हम कमजोर हैं.
Arvind Kejriwal, can I ask you, if you win this election, you will be the Chief Minister?
Let's see, it is the MLAs who are going to decide. But the party has decided that they will fight this election under my leadership.
So you will accept leadership if the party wants you to be Chief Minister, you will accept leadership.
The MLAs will decide, that's the procedure.
And can I just ask you about, if you win this election, it's an incredible achievement. In no time to come and win an election like Delhi, will that give you an impetus to try for this Lok Sabha also, the Aam Aadmi Party?
हमें ये समझना ये हमारा इलेक्शन नहीं है,
जी हाँ,
ये अरविंद केजरीवाल का इलेक्शन
नहीं,
नहीं है,
बिल्कुल,
ये इन लोगों का इलेक्शन है.
आम आदमी पार्टी.
जो जनता जो है वो इतनी ज्यादा दुखी हो चुकी है इस देश के अंदर. इस बार जनता चुनाव लड़ रही है. अरविंद केजरीवाल की कोई औकात नहीं है, मैं बहुत छोटा सा आदमी हूँ, मेरी कोई औकात नहीं है, लेकिन जो जनता के अंदर गुस्सा है, अब जनता का जीना हराम हो गया है. 10,000 रुपए तनख्वाह और 5,000 रुपए बिजली का बिल आ रहा है.
ये सिर्फ दिल्ली में है कि पूरी देश में?
पूरे देश में ही बुरा हाल है लोगों का.
Will you try for the Lok Sabha also for the Aam Aadmi Party?
कब होगा कैसे होगा मैं नहीं कह सकता,
चांस है,
लेकिन पूरे देश से ही गंदगी दूर करनी है, वो तो मोटिव है.
4 तारीख को चांस है you may go for Lok Sabha, the Aam Aadmi Party.
Let's see, I mean it's too early.
You just spoke about electricity. In Delhi, despite everything, electricity is cheaper than in many big cities. How will you reduce the price to half?
वो आपको बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं जी. They are fudging figures.
In Bombay, we are paying more than you are paying in Delhi. How will you do it? Because you normally buy your electricity, right?
Let's not compare with other states. हमें ये देखना है कि दिल्ली में ठीक है कि नहीं है. दिल्ली में गलत है, दिल्ली में बेईमानी हो रही है और उसके बेईमानी के हमने कई सबूत दिए हैं. अभी तो हम लोग सड़क पे हैं, सारे सबूत देना पॉसिबल नहीं है। सर, बेसिकली इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंपनीज आर फजिंग देयर रिकॉर्ड्स।
Okay, I just want to get back to that. With all this response, people are voting for you. You win Delhi. You're not ruling out Lok Sabha yet. Not ruling it out. You may do the Lok Sabha. You may do. I want to ask you, in this Lok Sabha election, bad cough you've got.
I got very bad cough.
In this Lok Sabha election, what do you think of the two main candidates, Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi?
That is for the people to decide.
What do you think of them?
I don't think of them. I think of the problems of the country.
You're being very diplomatic. You learned something new.
I don't think so. Rahul Gandhi is not important. Modi is not important. The problems of the country are important. I don't talk about individuals.
Very good, very good.
You know, many people in the press said now they accuse you of being an old-style socialist. What is your response to that?
Why? What did we do? हमने ऐसा क्या किया जिससे आप हमें सोशलिस्ट बोलते हो?
आपके दाम बता रहे हैं कि सरकार, you know, more government is the way they look at it.
हमने तो कहा नहीं, हम तो जनता को पावर देने की बात कह रहे हैं। जनता को पावर तो मिलनी चाहिए। हम तो सरकार को कम करने की बात कर रहे हैं।
One is the rift with Anna ji. Rift with Anna ji, one of the saddest things in your life.
There is no rift. लेकिन अगर वो साथ होते तो अच्छा होता। अगर राजनीति में साथ होते
You
तो
feel
अच्छा
sad about that?
I feel very sad about it.
If you had to see him right now, standing here with you, what would you say to him?
मैं यही कहूंगा कि ये ऐतिहासिक अपॉर्चुनिटी है। इतिहास इस तरह के मौके देता नहीं है। ये ना मेरी वजह से हो रहा, किसी की वजह से नहीं, कुछ शक्तियां हैं जो साथ आ रही हैं। इट्स बेसिकली जब आप सच्चाई के रास्ते पे चलते हो ना, तो सारे ब्रह्मांड की शक्तियां आपकी मदद करती हैं, सारी अच्छी शक्तियां आपकी मदद करती हैं। तो आना चाहिए, अन्ना जी को भी साथ आना चाहिए, किरण बेदी को भी साथ आना चाहिए। दे शुड कम टुगेदर।
You would like them to come. Well, good luck. Good luck. Thank you. Amazing.
And I must say, after that interview, Dorab and I went around behind the cavalcade, not the supporters, and amazing number of people we asked, who are you going to vote for, who's ahead, and a lot of them said Jharu, 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 including shopkeepers, which used to be the traditional base of the BJP. That's what really surprised me. Vijay Goel, I want to ask you, you've been campaigning, who's your main opposition this time, Congress or Aam Aadmi Party?
Yeah, our main opposition is only Congress party. And I am not agreeing with your analysis. In the last elections, your statement shows that BSP gets 24% vote. But they got only 4 seats. Not more than that.
No.
Now you are saying
Sir,
that...
No, that's BSP plus others. BSP plus others. Not BSP on its own.
Even
plus
BSP,
independents and
even
everything got
BSP
24.
plus others. अगर BSP
they are
plus
all
others भी
fragmented,
कम,
many others.
तो एक मिनट आप बता सकते हैं मुझे BSP
We
को
work
कितना
on the
परसेंट
maths
वोट मिला?
later. There's nothing wrong with the maths. Get to the politics of it.
पहली बात यह है,
I'll ask Kiran Alu.
पहली बात यह है,
Kiran Walia the same question.
एक मिनट, पहली बात यह है
हाँ बताइए
कि आप जो कह रहे हैं झाड़ू झाड़ू झाड़ू, आप उसके बाद भी झाड़ू को सिर्फ 17 सीट दे रहे हैं जी और 26% वोट दे रहे हैं। अभी कोई भी मुझे ये नहीं बता पा रहा कौन सी सीट आम आदमी पार्टी जीतने जा रही है जी। उनमें से हमें कोई सीट नजर नहीं आती, सिर्फ हमें ये पता चलता है कि इतने % वोट मिल रहे हैं जी। जैसे आपने ये कहा कि करप्शन इज द मेन इशू जो आम आदमी पार्टी ने भी उठाया, तो जिस अन्ना हजारे जी को वो साथ लेने की बात कर रहे हैं, उन्हीं अन्ना हजारे जी ने इनके ऊपर आरोप लगाए हैं जिनके अभी तक कोई जवाब नहीं मिले हैं। उसी तरह से आप आगे देखेंगे तो जो स्टिंग ऑपरेशन हुए हैं उनको इन्होंने कहा पॉलिटिकल है, और अभी ये सत्ता के अंदर आए नहीं है। जहां तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी का संबंध है, अगर आप एनडीए का रूल देखेंगे तो उसके अंदर अगर आप कांग्रेस से कंपेयर करेंगे तो हमारे राज के अंदर करप्शन नहीं थी और डेवलपमेंट बहुत थी। और अभी जितनी स्टेट्स के अंदर बीजेपी रूल कर रही है उसमें आप ही के टीवी चैनल, बड़ी मैगजीन सब ये बताते हैं कि सारी सबसे अच्छी स्टेट्स जो हैं वो बीजेपी की स्टेट्स चल रही हैं। इसलिए आप परसेंटेज ऑफ वोट दिखाकर ये नहीं कह सकते हैं कि इतनी सीट मिलेंगी। कौन सी सीट मिलेंगी बीजेपी भी बता सकती है अपनी सीट, कांग्रेस भी बता सकती है अपनी सीट, किंतु आम आदमी पार्टी ये नहीं बता रही कि ये 4 सीट वो जीतने जा रहे हैं।
Okay, sir. I'll just come back to you. I wanted to ask Kiran Walia. My grandfather used to tell me, in horse racing, in a field of 3, always back the outsider, because the main 2 favorites are always fighting each other and looking at each other, and the outsider comes by the side and overtakes them. Mr. Goel says you're the main opponent. Is he your main opponent? And in the middle of you is the outsiders, while you are fighting each other, slipping by.
Well, Pinoy, I think that Aam Aadmi Party is basically a media creation. You would appreciate that, because the whole thing got punctured very recently when the sting operation was also done by a media agency. So this is a very interesting phenomena to understand. And I do agree with Vijay to a large extent that I also believe, and I wonder that which other seats are going to win in Delhi. And I know that the people, it's not that I'm being partisan, but because when we, like Congress party has put up most of its sitting MLAs, and they are the one who have worked. And this work is being appreciated, which media wants to gloss over. It is a fact that amazing progress has taken place in Delhi. The whole face of Delhi has been changed. And is it something not to reckon with? I'm sure that the Delhi voter is going to understand that there's nobody else other than Congress which will stand for progress, otherwise it will slide back. And when I talk and interact with people, it's not my election thing that I'm talking about. It is a matter of fact, and I do respect the voters' sanity, and they will
I think you have a point.
For somebody who has been very adventurous.
I think you have a point.
And adventurism, adventurism.
I think you have a point. A lot has been done in Delhi, but I think Yogendra has to reply to this charge by both of you about the sting. Yogendra, the sting has dented, has affected your image a little bit, right? It has been a negative fallout.
Dr. Roy, the day it came, it was a setback. We were shocked. I must confess, I had some very tough questions to ask to our candidates. But the third day, when we actually got the raw footage, thanks to the Election Commission, and we analyzed it, in my own eyes, actually, the sense of respect for my candidates of the party actually went up. And I would really plead through your channel for everyone to please visit our party website, where in every single case we have put the exact truth of each sting. Let everyone look at it and decide. Here are, this is like saying, I am not drinking tonight, and someone takes out not and says, well, I've retained 80% of it. This is clearly a case of doctoring.
But Dorab has never
Initially, we
said that.
thought it would affect us very badly.
Not drinking
No,
tonight.
but doctoring it is in any case.
Here, on our campaign trail, he has been called Daruwala. So, but I just get you, Dorab, in terms of, just one second, I was going to hear Dorab on this point. Okay, carry on, finish.
I was saying that this is absolutely a clear case of doctoring, and I must thank some channels, including yours, who did not actually succumb to the temptation of playing the masala of that CD, because it's actually as clearly doctored as things possibly can be, fabricated, doctored, and so on. So, yes, has it affected our image? It must have affected in the eyes of some people who are exposed to the media and who are educated, because the media took enormous delight in playing out the CDs. But when we produced conclusive evidence that the CD was doctored, unfortunately we didn't get even 1/10 of that space which was given to the CD. Right. So there may be some remainders of that image with the people, but I think it's only in the top. It's only in the top segment. When I go to more working class
segment doesn't come out and vote anyway, so you're okay.
But Pinoy, I would like to...
I just want to get Dorab. I just want to get Dorab in a second. Let's just broadly look at the issues. 15 years in power, the Congress, anti-incumbency anywhere in the world is pretty strong.
Right.
But it has developed Delhi quite a lot. Even Connaught Place is looking better.
Yeah, but you know,
flyover,
Delhi is also
roads,
central government. The central
electricity.
there's local anti-incumbency
So
and central anti-incumbency, which the local parties carrying. And people have a very short memory.
then the whole corruption
You think
issue.
only of the last 2 years, 3 years.
Not
of
is it
2
the
years.
three things. One, this broad anti-incumbency wants to have a change, like I'd like to change my genes, I want to change the government. Number two, development has taken place in Delhi, so that's in favor. And third is, corruption is an issue, so that helps the Aam Aadmi Party. First helps the BJP, second helps the Congress, third helps the Aam Aadmi Party.
I think first of all, as Dorab says, Delhi is the seat of national government, central government. A lot of the people in Delhi are connected with central government. So there is general anger and revulsion with how weak and waffling UPA 2 has been. So in Delhi, they face the full brunt of it. So Delhi government, frankly, pays also for the sins, or mainly for the sins of the central government.
Right.
Because Delhi is half a state. I mean, where we sit, Connaught Place is a brilliant job of delayed, but a brilliant job of renovation. But it's not been done by Delhi government. It's been done by NDMC, which is under Ministry of Home. So it's a very
But do
confused.
the voters see that difference?
Yes, they do. Because voters know that land is with somebody else in Delhi, law and order is with somebody else in Delhi. These are Delhi
So
voters.
they're not going to benefit from it, is that what you're saying?
They are not going to benefit. So they are also looking at the central government.
Right.
They are looking at corruption, and they are looking at a new party, many of whose leaders are prominent citizens of Delhi or of the national capital region.
But the anti-Congress can also help the BJP, right?
Well, it will help the BJP as well, but Aam Aadmi Party coming in is a completely, in fact, they've today emerged as a kind of regional party of Delhi. And you can see that wherever this has happened, an effective regional party
Though
has
I
risen.
must tell you, yesterday when we went around, a lot of the workers had come all the way from Calcutta. One guy had come from Texas. So I don't know how regional. They see hope in that party, but whether that'll convert itself into votes, one doesn't know.
but
I just want to have a look.
I say regional party in the sense that you need to have a critical mass of votes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
candidates in one
To get
place
seats, yeah.
to get seats
Yeah.
to make an impact. Because if they win Delhi, then they can move on.
I want to have one look at a different issue, and that is how going from a two-party system to a three-party system has changed this election. If we look at the index of opposition unity, historically in Delhi, let's have a look at last time what the index of opposition, the IOU was. It was 66 last time because BSP and others also did fairly well, 24% as we just heard. But now this time it's dropped. It's dropped down to 58, down 8 points. Now that has a very significant impact because when it drops from 66 to 58, it just means you need fewer votes to get seats. And that's going to help the Aam Aadmi Party as well. Let's have a look at what the votes to seats, the swing needed now for each of the parties. Remember, what's the basis 2008 result? Congress had 43 seats, 43% of the vote. The BJP, if it comes up, had about 36 if I remember. Oh, these are seats, 43, 23 and 0 seats. Now what happens when there's a swing? Let's see a swing first to the Aam Aadmi Party. What happens? How much does the Aam Aadmi Party need for it to form, first the BJP. How much does it need to form the government? Just a swing away of minus 1%, that's all. And remember, 1% less and it gets more seats than it did last time. It forms the government. That's the impact of a drop in the index of opposition unity. A lower vote, but the BJP gets more seats. That's a big hope for the Congress, for the BJP. Now what about the Congress next? Let's have a look. What will it take for the Congress to form a government? Here's what it looks like. For Congress to retain its majority, in other words get 36 seats, it needs to a swing away of 5%. Anything more than that, it will drop under halfway. So down 5%, anti-incumbency, and it still holds on to a majority. Remember, majority is 35. So -5 and the Congress still wins this election. And -5 is quite a lot though, Rob.
Yes, of course.
It's quite a big swing.
Yeah.
And what about for the Aam Aadmi Party? Does it need 38, 40, 42 to form a government? Let's see what the Aam Aadmi Party needs to form government. Just 34%. It doesn't need 40. It needs 34% vote to get 36 seats. 34% vote only, not 40%, not 45%. Because of a drop in the index of opposition unity, it needs just 34, and that's going to help the Aam Aadmi Party. So this three-way split also helps the new party.
See what happened, the three-way split, the Aam Aadmi Party is new. It is hitting both the Congress and the BJP, but they were the strong people.
Right.
So the opposition unity breaks down further with them.
Right. Well, but the BJP will be thrilled that even a
Yes.
-1% worse than last time, their seats go up. That's the impact of going from two parties. So we were on the campaign trail with Mr. Harshvardhan, the Chief Minister candidate from the BJP. Let's hear what he had to say.
I wanted to ask you, in this atmosphere, which is your main competitor, do you find? Is it the Congress or the rising Aam Aadmi Party?
To be very honest with you,
Right.
I strongly feel that we are far, far ahead of both of them. That's
Right,
number
right,
one.
number one.
And I think Congress as well as the Aam Aadmi Party, they are probably fighting for the second slot. Traditionally, Congress has always been our main, you can say, opponent.
Right.
And right now, in the present situation, it seems that Mrs. Dixit has probably accepted defeat. Yesterday only she gave a statement that in case she doesn't get majority, she is willing to make a government with the help of Aam Aadmi Party. That is a strong indication of her having conceded defeat.
So who will come second, Aam Aadmi or Congress, according to you?
I think it will be Congress, definitely Congress, but they are probably contesting amongst themselves for the second slot.
I wanted to, my grandfather used to say in horse racing,
Yes.
in a field of three, always back the outsider. The outsider will win because the main two horses are fighting each other.
Yes.
This is a three-party fight. Three horse race is the outsider is Aam Aadmi. So you two are fighting each other. Will Aam Aadmi race ahead?
I don't see even any remote possibility of that. I think the people of the city, for that matter this country, are also very, very intelligent. I have got great respect for their wisdom. They know that if they have to get rid of Congress, which has not been able to deliver in the last 15 years, and most of their issues and problems remain unresolved, the only solution for them or the only answer for them is BJP.
Why not
And
Aam Aadmi?
they would, you see, Aam Aadmi Party, you may see that more on the television channel and here and there, but we also work on the ground.
Right.
And I have been an MLA for 20 years. I have been party president for 5 years. I have seen the whole city. I have been minister for 5 years. I have worked for polio eradication in each and every locality of Delhi. I can tell you that Aam Aadmi Party, whatever it is more on the TV screen. I don't know why, but the ground reality, its presence on the television channels doesn't match even a bit with the reality on the ground.
That's interesting. Tell me something. In your speeches, you mainly attack the Congress or mainly attack the Aam Aadmi Party?
To be very honest, I don't have to attack anybody because
I mean,
the
criticize.
people of the city, they know jolly well much more than me about the failures and the corruption and the scams of the Congress party. I am only talking about the positive things that I have to do for the city.
Right.
In the last 9 days, we have been talking about the
He wants to give you some insight.
10 din and 10 irade. And I would like to let the people know about my positive vision.
So let me ask you, in your vision, how will you bring down prices?
There are a couple of things. In Delhi, I have always believed and found that I have always believed and seen on the ground that whenever there is inflation, if you go into the root cause of it, you will find some sort of corruption somewhere in the system. Hoarding and many other things. Like recently, we saw a statement by the Maharashtra Chief Minister whereby he said that he had offered to Mrs. Dixit that we have enough onions, we can give you at reasonable prices any amount that you would like. But she refused to accept the offer. You would import. She said she will purchase everything to the middleman. So you would, but I am for thorough transparency in the system, for introducing the highest level of e-governance, e-procurement, and also for ensuring that corruption has to be prevented. We have to make the system so transparent. That's why we talked about Food Prices Commission, where
they want you to wave a bit. They want you to wave a bit. Let me ask you, in all your campaigning, I was just asking, who is the main competitor? Is it the Aam Aadmi or the Congress?
I think neither anymore.
Who will come second? Who will come third?
I can't predict anything, but obviously according to the surveys, we are number one, Congress is number two, and Aam Aadmi is number three.
You get that feel that Aam Aadmi is not much of a threat for you?
I don't think so.
Congress little more.
Obviously, Congress is...
historically.
Yeah.
Vijay Goel, I just wanted to, I did ask the future candidate from your party, Chief Minister, I did ask him as well. You were meant to be the Chief Ministerial candidate, last minute it was changed. Is the top leadership in the BJP a bit divided? Are you a little bitter about it? Honestly, it must be. After years of student politics, this was the point of when you were going to get rewarded. And at the last minute, so are you slightly bitter?
No, I was not bitter and I am not bitter because it's the decision of the parliamentary board. We have to abide that. And I think this is not the question now. We are going to win this election. And basically, can I ask you one question? This Aam Aadmi party is saying about corruption of the Congress and the BJP, and they have taken more than 20% their candidates from the rejected lot of Congress and BJP. Now they are honest persons, and when they were in our party, they were dishonest persons. So Aam Aadmi party is not different from other parties. What the other parties were doing and are doing, and people are saying that nowadays political parties are credibility is very low. The Aam Aadmi party is doing the same thing. So I think now, as far as this election is concerned, there is an anti-incumbency against the Congress government because of inflation, because of corruption, because of electricity high charges, because of scarcity of water.
No, the point is anti-incumbency again, but is the votes going to you or going to Aam Aadmi? That's the big... Let's have a look, forget opinion polls, let's have a look at the bookies.
I would like to...
The Satta, what is the Satta market saying?
Something. Hello?
Yeah, I'll just come to you, I just want to show you the odds that the bookies are giving right now. Let's have a look at what the bookies are giving for all the states, including Delhi. Here's what, and I don't know, Dora believes more in bookies than in opinion polls. Rajasthan, remember, halfway mark is 100. The bookies are saying BJP 115, almost twice Congress. What are they saying in Madhya Pradesh? Halfway mark 115, bookies say BJP 123, clear majority. What are they saying in Chhattisgarh? Remember, the halfway mark in Chhattisgarh is actually 45, and just a little ahead. There's a narrowest fight according to bookies is in Chhattisgarh, which has historically been. And look at Delhi, what the bookies are saying. Bookies are saying 33 to the BJP, just under the halfway mark, 25 to the Congress, and 9 to the Aam Aadmi Party. No wonder Yogendra does opinion polls and doesn't believe in all this gambling and bookies and all this random stuff. But Kiran Walia, yes, you wanted to say something. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say one thing. I have this abiding faith in the sense of people, because they have not forgotten that, you know, they are very good at fighting elections, but they are better in fighting amongst themselves. The first 5 years that they got an opportunity ever to be in power in Delhi, they fought amongst themselves, and 3 chief ministers in 5 years. How could people have forgotten that? Besides, do we now not remember the 27,000 employees in the MCD, which could not be really, you know, found out who they were, and the way they have not been able to even address a single issue of cleanliness and sanitation. How does anybody trust them with the governance of the capital of India, of which we all take pride in? So I think that whenever I talk to people, they are deeply aware of the fact who they are going to place their confidence in. As far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, I just think that they're an extra constitutional authority. It's very easy to protest. It's very different to govern. I don't think they have an iota of idea with the kind of credit that one would give to Kejriwal for having been an IFS officer, whatever. He should know you do not frame laws sitting at Red Fort. You do not have Mohalla Samitis to make laws. You cannot be outside the legal system. So you know, it's ridiculous in fact. And everybody should realize what the system is about.
So you don't think a Jharu is sweeping parts of Delhi? You don't think a Jharu is sweeping parts of Delhi?
I think Jharu needs to be used first within the precincts of their own party office, then outside. Mr. Kejriwal said
I'm going to ask Yogendra.
He's been in the income tax authority. He could not cleanse. He could not cleanse the income tax department. How is he going to clean Delhi?
Okay, ma'am. Maybe it's better to do it other ways, but from outside the system rather than inside. Yogendra, is there an element, you were criticizing the media, but is there an element of truth in the fact that you're really a media creation, much more on television channels than on the ground?
Dr. Roy, it is true that India Against Corruption campaign during the Ramlila days got attention which was much large than any other movement had seen. But the simple matter of fact is that much of that simply died in after November, December last year, when we made those disclosures, and the most important disclosure about Mr. Ambani. After that, the media virtually boycotted us. So if we were a media creation, we would have ceased to exist a few months ago. We fought, and we fought because something is happening on the ground. I can understand the bafflement of both from Congress and BJP, and I'm not being sarcastic. I think when a wave election happens, it's very hard to read a wave. You would know it better. 1983, 1987, did psephologists get to read the wave that was taking place? I think something of that sort is indeed happening in Delhi. We are unable to read it right now. But I understand why it's very hard to see.
I have to interrupt you. I'm sorry, Yogendra, I have to interrupt you. I have to thank everybody. I'm being shouted at in my ear. We've gone way over. So we'll just leave you. I just met a short while ago, the current Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit, and asked her a few questions. This is what she had to say. We'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching. Good night. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks very much for joining us. Tell me, I heard your speech just now. You talked a lot about how much you've done for Delhi. But after 15 years, anti-incumbency, don't you feel it?
No, I feel pro-incumbency.
Pro-incumbency?
Yeah, pro-incumbency because of the work that we have done. It can be seen and it can be felt. And we are promising that if you do not bring the Congress back into power, all the development that has taken place will not only stop, it might even slide back. Because the kind of promises that the opposition are making are impractical and only something to win over people, but they cannot be implemented.
And who's going to come second and who's going to come third?
I have no idea about that.
Who's your main competitor, you feel?
The main competitor is the BJP.
BJP.
No doubt about it, because it's the only other established party in Delhi. Others, even like BSP and all, come here, but they don't make much of a difference. The real
What about the Jharu?
The Jharu is, well, you know what it is.
Not sweeping Delhi?
No, because the Jharu tried to blacken everybody. Today it stands blackened itself. And when it started, it gave itself a self-certification that we are the best, we are the cleanest. Today they don't look like that.
But you did say that you are willing to form an alliance with them. That sort of sounded...
No, certainly not. What I said was that we are confident to win the election on our own. If in future, and the people of Delhi are not looking for an unstable governance or an unstable government. They would like a stable government. If anything like this happens in the future, we'll think about it then, not now.
So you're not rejecting an alliance if it's necessary?
No, I am not. I'm certainly not accepting it.
You're not accepting? For you, all I want to know is that BJP you'll never ally with. They're untouchable for you. But the Aam Aadmi Party is not untouchable, basically.
No, it is more than untouchable for the simple reason it has no base whatsoever. We don't, in spite of the fact that there have been so many polling, scenarios, we don't think the Aam Aadmi is going to get any seat whatsoever. Any seat whatsoever.
And what about you personally? 15 years, the same thing. Don't you want to be a glorious minister in a central government and look...
What do you mean by
That's a more relaxed time, right?
Yeah, probably it is. But this is a job I have to do. I never run away from what I'm supposed to do. After that, we'll see.
Some chance you may go for a...
You remember you'd asked me the same question last time. But I don't take... You see, in a political system and a party like ours, we don't take our own individual decisions. We're either picked up to do something or otherwise. So let the party decide.
But you'll take part in the Lok Sabha election campaign?
Of course. If I'm asked to, certainly in Delhi and anywhere else that I'm asked to, certainly.
Would you stand for a Lok Sabha seat?
No, thank you. Not
had enough
so soon after this election. Because right now I'm not just fighting my own seat, I'm fighting 70 seats.
One last thing, of all the development you talked about, what about the corruption issues, the Commonwealth Games, and what about prices? These are two big negatives, right?
I'm going to tell you very categorically.
Right.
And I feel very hurt, disturbed,
right,
that we are being called corrupt when there is no corruption. You tell me which ministers had to resign, which civil servant in our government has had to resign. CAG wrote something, Shungri committee wrote something, PAC asked us some questions, they were all answered. Now why are we being called corrupt? We are not corrupt. And if you think we are, give us proof. We'll correct it. We'll take action. But just on the air to go on saying corruption, I'm sorry, I don't agree with this and I refute it very vehemently.
Last thing about prices. Couldn't you have acted faster, imported onions? You didn't seem to work quick enough.
No.
Is that your biggest negative?
No, we acted very fast. We brought out vans selling 220 of them all over Delhi to stabilize the black marketing. It did happen. Now where is there not price rise? You saw the films in Madhya Pradesh where there was hoarding going on. You also saw that trucks were not able to carry these goods from one place to another. There were weather conditions. But the prices have come down. And they always do. And when there's a change of season, prices rise. Not perhaps to 100 rupees or 80 rupees. It never went to 100 here. So we did take measures. We didn't allow things to go totally haywire. And remember, we are an importing state.
But is it your biggest negative in this election? The one thing you have to convince people you find?
No, people know that price rise...
What is your biggest negative?
My biggest negative, I don't take a negative.
Thanks very much.